Hello, good morning VC, this is the Headbang Zulu here. If you're thinking I'm going to hold up a load of heavy metal albums, you missed the boat. I've done that on my previous video yesterday. I went record shopping, a bit of a haul, and I did all the heavy metal. This is going to be the country side of it. I did pick up a few albums, for the simple reason was they're extremely cheap. You only pay a couple of quid for them or £1, so I picked up a few and I'd like to show you. The first album I want to show is this album, Willie Nelson, and this is an early one. It was originally recorded in 1971, and as you know, Willie Nelson was part of the Outlaw movement, and also Waylon Jennings, and this album was actually recorded just before he broke away, because apparently he didn't like what was happening at Nashville and he went back to Texas and he became an outlaw. But I just thought I'd show you this album. It's in absolutely beautiful condition like all these albums. Here's the track listing to it at the back, but I paid about £1 for it, I think, or £2. But this is it's on the RCA International. It's this great value. It's only £2.99 sticker on it. But yeah, it's Willie Nelson. You can't go wrong with a bit of Willie Nelson. I was going to say something else then. Be careful, Steve. This is another early album. This is Waylon Jennings. I think this is before he became Outlaw as well. But yeah, it's a great album. It's 1980 on the actual cover, but the photograph looks like, I think it could be a reissue, because it looks a lot older than that. I should say 70s, but I might be wrong. But yeah, this is another Waylon Jennings album to my collection I haven't got. That's the track listed at the back. I hope you can see it okay. And yeah, it's just called The Singer of Sad Songs, and it's got a nice piece of vinyl in it as well. It's on the international label, but I'm not very keyed up on Outlaw yet. I'm still learning. But 2 albums did pick up. Sorry, 3 albums I picked up. I'll do them last because it'll be easier. I'm sorry, I picked up another Willie Nelson album, and this was when he was Outlaw. As you can tell with the bandana, I think this was a bit later, but it's got some great tracks on there. And this album I think was 1980s, but I might be wrong. But it's got all the hit songs on that. I nearly said hits then. But again, this album cost me £1, and it's sort of a great introduction into the outlaw scene. But yeah, there's Willie Nelson. Another album I picked up, and it was an easy mistake to make. I thought it's got a great record cover. And I thought to myself, he's got to be some American cowboy, but he's actually UK, he's English, and it's best to describe it is Tex-Mex. That's what he says, and rock and that sort of stuff. It is very country sounding, and apparently this record was recorded in London. That must have been a big giveaway, but I believe it's Wes McGee's second album. It's called AML. I think this album cost me £2, and I would have paid that for the cover all day long. She's got a fantastic cover to it, but at the back as well, it's got some nice pictures of American scene. I haven't seen many of them in London. You've got all the cactus. I think that's saguaro cactus, but I may be wrong. And you've got the track listing as well. I have listened to Whiskey Is My Driver. That seems to be the big hit off this album. And it's not a bad track. It's a very good track, actually. It's not generally a bad album, but for that guy, I would have, he just looks like a grizzly old cowboy. You can imagine riding the range, and it was definitely a great pickup. But yeah, that's Wes McGee. The last 3 are Johnny Cash albums, and one of them I think has a story behind it, but I don't know it for sure. But it's got that's the front of the album. I think something happened with his label or something, but I don't know the story behind it. But it's got the 3. That's the track listing at the back. I hope you can see that okay. It's also got, I love this in records, they used to have to advertise a load of other records You see the back of the cover, and I love this sort of stuff on records. I would have said this was the mid to late 70s. You've got a lovely guy there, the name Shuggy Oates, Janis Joplin. I've got that record there, I believe, or some music by that guy. I may be wrong, but you got some cracking stuff on here. Skid Row, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Johnny Winter, Chicago I've heard of, The Byrds I've heard of, Shuggy Otis I've heard of him. Here Comes Shuggy Otis, and you got Janis Joplin, and on the other side you got like Taj Mahal. I'm a big fan of his. I've got quite a few of his records. Who else is on here? I know Black Widow, I've heard of them. Chambers Brother, Catfish, Everly's, obviously, Miles Davis, the jazz artist, Bob Dylan, Al Cooper, Tony Oxley, and all this sort of stuff. Laura Nyro, Moondog, all sorts of stuff. And it just shows you the records were out at the time. Bessie Smith, Sly and the Family Stone, that was a good band. And I just love this sort of stuff on the back of records. I can't get enough of it. It just gives them a bit of history. That goes in there. Sorry about that. What else have I got? This is another one. This is the Magnificent Johnny Cash. Again, it didn't cost me very much money. Got some great tracks on here. Clementine, I know. I think I've heard My Grandfather's Clock before. But yeah, I picked this up for £1. I mean, a couple of quid. I wouldn't have left that. Love old Johnny. Yeah, that's an old picture. But yeah, I picked all that up. And what else did I get? Oh yeah, I got a Johnny Cash's Greatest Hits, and this one was a great pickup because it's actually got some hits on it. A lot of songs I recognise. It's also got one of those fantastic covers again, which I absolutely love. I love this. And it's got Nita Harris. I know who she was. She was a British like celebrity, I believe. Johnny Mathis. Who else is it? Tony Bennett, I've heard of. Marty Robbins, I've heard of it. Percy Faith, I think I've heard of him. And yeah, it's got some great stuff, and that's that side. But yeah, this is a Johnny Cash album. And I know a lot of the songs on here. I Walk the Line, that was huge. Jackson, yeah, I've heard of that one. Orange Blossom Special, a classic. The One on the Right is on the Left, I've heard of that one. Ring of Fire, that is a massive hit. It Ain't Me, Babe. The Ballad of Ira Hayes, The Rebel, Johnny Yuma. 5 Feet High and Rising, Don't Take Your Guns to Town. I know all those songs because my father had that record. In the middle. My mum used to buy him a Johnny Cash album every year when it was his birthday. But also it's got one of these stickers in the corner. It just brings back so many nice warm memories. I love it. It's a stereo, can be played on stereo equipment. It's probably when this was released there was a lot of mono still. It's just a great record. You know, I wonder how many people have had this record in their collections and enjoyed the record. Now it's my turn to appreciate it, and I'll pass it on. So I hope all my viewers enjoyed this. Sorry, my phone's just gone. My regulars might not like it, but I thought, you know, I'll do a bit of both. What I'm collecting at the moment. If you're into the heavy metal and don't like the country, don't watch this. But I just thought I'd do this as a side project, but instead of confusion, I'd put it on the same channel. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going record hunting today, but I shall definitely go again this week. This is the Zulu saying "Ton Science" and just love each other and be nice to each other. Tra.